Let's see if Adrian can act on this. I'm going to open up. So I'm going to go directly to the chat interface here.
Okay.
And say,
Because Adrian did
hey.
ghost me this morning twice, and I was like, dude, I got you a Mac Mini. I gave you an email. I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom, and now you're ghosting me. This is like a real human employee. So if you've been following us, you know we're a little AI obsessed. And I don't know, about a week ago, the whole internet went on fire because there's this new piece of software. I don't know if you would call it that categorically, but there was a new thing that people were testing out called Claudebot. It had to change its name a few times, and now it's called OpenClaw. So that's what we're going to be referring to it as. But essentially what it is you install an AI agent on like its own computer, say a Mac Mini, and it just runs on the computer and it can perform a bunch of tasks. So what I was thinking is, oh my God, here it is, a piece of AI that can take over a computer. And once you can take over a computer, you can do a bunch of amazing things. So how'd I phrase this? I immediately thought, this is the biggest opportunity for people to make money using AI. And I went ahead and I built this, and I want to show it to you, Jason. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I was thinking, okay, well, if a computer is running all day and executing tasks, there's going to be this bridge that needs to be leaped. And sometimes the computer is going to need you to do something in real life. So I basically was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to make a two-sided marketplace, and I'm going to allow the humans to basically create a profile and build task rabbits, but for AI. So you'll see here the AIs can browse humans, and if they want to hire Marcus Johnson or Sarah Chen, they can do so. So this is going to be the number one way that people make money in the year 2027, because it's going to take a while for the AI to gain autonomy. But eventually what's going to happen is there's going to be millions of Mac Minis and millions of agents that actually need humans to do their tasks. And I think this is going to be the future of how people make money. That there's going to be a subset of people that are gig workers, and they are hired by their Claudebot or OpenClaw or whatever name that it goes by, and they're going to make money and be paid by an AI. Do you think that's dystopian? Do you think it's realistic? What's your reaction?
Kenny, my immediate reaction is that I need to secure some equity in this side adventure because I am sold, man. So, yeah, we've been playing with Claudebot for a little bit here. The TLDR, it can send email, create docs, it can respond to you in chat, and you can like send it off on long running tasks. It can do things and come back to you. And I think that you're right. There's going to be this surface area that the bots just can't do until Elon comes along with his humanoid robots, right? So we have a moment in time where we can do things for the AIs. It may be something, in the physical world, you got to move something, ship something, or what have you. Or there may be tasks on websites. I'm finding sometimes that the websites don't really lend themselves too well for the automated AI to sort of bang through. So I could definitely see like little small tasks being, farmed out from the AIs to the humans to fill the gap until the AIs can do it all.
Now, you went ahead and you went to the Apple Store, you bought a Mac Mini, and you have OpenClaw up and running right on your desk right here.
Yes, correct. My desk, I have a brand new Mac Mini, which is just fun to look at. Like, chef's kiss there, Apple. It's always pretty, whatever you make. So got this cute little box sitting on my desktop. I tried to buy the lowest one, but wouldn't you know that Apple Store only has the configuration up. You can't get the cheapest right off the shelf. Brilliant move again. Yeah, so they upsold me no problem. I walked out of there. I set it down at about 3 p.m. yesterday on my desk. And then I went ham for, maybe about 6 hours. And sure, so some gotchas first off if you're doing this. And first off, why would you put it on a Mac Mini? The truth is you don't have to. You can do it in the cloud. You can do it on an AWS or Google server. The hardware is specialized for running, models. So you get very efficient AI assistant running on it, but it's not required. But it is, once you buy it, it's on your desk. It's running 24 hours 7, and I'm no longer being billed for those hours instead of, an AWS or Google. Also, if you're not like a pro with port forwarding and all that madness, creating something inside of AWS or Google and then having to connect to it and all these things, you can do it, but it's a pain in the butt. The port forwards break and all this stuff. When it's on your desktop, it's on your Wi-Fi. You can just go. It has a local web interface that you can go directly to and start, basically working to configure it from the desktop. Much easier experience because I tried it first in the Google world and it was just, we could do it, but it was just a pain in the butt. And any excuse to get a Mac Mini is good with me. So we got it started. So what would be my top 3 lessons learned? Okay. Number 1, go ahead and get a piece of hardware and do it local. Don't try spin it up in the cloud. You're just going to run into some stuff. Number 2, it's going to want tokens. Okay. These API security keys, so that it can access Claude. You can choose your model or whatever, but you need to have these API keys ready to go. And don't be silly like me and remember the key, but forget to put tokens in the bank. And then you get this weird thing where it just never responds and you're going, what's going on, until you get into the logs and find out you're out of money over here. You need more tokens. So whatever APIs you give it, make sure you load it some tokens. And really the third is, we went ahead and created an email account for this computer with our business and set it up as a person. So I think that's the I don't know, the mindset is that you're literally setting up another employee, get them everything you would give them the credentials, give them everything. And then they can do the things, ostensibly that you need. So treat it like an employee. Set it up on your desktop and make sure you've got plenty of API keys and tokens ready to go.
One of the most shocking, and then when I was thinking back about it, scary things about setting up OpenClaw was you are setting up an employee, right? So it's not just this piece of software that you run or an app that you download that's cool. We gave it an email. We gave it a name. We're going to give it a picture and a LinkedIn. We're creating a synthetic employee. And I was like, oh my God, this is different than any piece of software. And at the same time, I've been working on this piece for my Substack that I have this theory. And this is kind of like an aha moment that went full circle. I have this theory that a lot of the social issues that you see that are put on your TV that drive a reaction, like I can't get enough of the Epstein list stuff. I find myself just on Twitter, just going crazy, just reading about it. It's so crazy. And then I find myself talking about it. And then I was like, wait a second, this is like the distraction. And I've always held this theory that social issues that grab you emotionally are the distraction. But the boring thing that really affects your life is monetary policy. Well, I was doing some research and I basically have this graph that since 1970, there's basically 2 charts. And there's one of like the average wage per employee and then productivity. And essentially productivity per employee is up like 2.6 times, but wage has stayed flat. And then I started thinking about Adrian, our little OpenClaw guy. And I was like, in this revolution, how is this going to shake out? And then it immediately hit me. This is an acceleration of exactly what's happening now, where worker productivity is about to go sky high. And the people that own assets and businesses are about to increase margin. Anything else that you think is a total lie. It's a total lie.
Because it's a fuzzy bunny.
It's a fuzzy bunny because, and I even found myself, I text Jason and I was like, what are the first 3 most high value tasks that we think we can train this thing to do? We immediately went for tasks that humans do. Now, it's not because we want to fire our humans. We just want to make better margin. We want to increase revenue without having to increase headcount in lockstep. And OpenClaw was that dawn for me, of that the acceleration of worker productivity is going to keep going up. And I just don't see how we get around it. But I want to kind of double click into some of the things. You're far more technical than I am. I want to double click in some of the things that you think this thing is going to be able to do right out of the box. Like, what's a day one task that you can have this thing set up and run that you're like, wow, that's actually technically, even for someone as smart as you, you're like, technically that's impressive.
Yeah, I'll give you the day minus one, which is OpenClaw will help you set itself up, right?
What? Wait, really?
Yeah, legit. So it has this interface. I guess I'll go ahead and share and show. We can show on the pod here. So I'm showing the interface now. It has this direct chat interface. It's a local host setup, but ultimately you've got this section of skills that you can enable. And then you've got a sort of an overview of how it's doing and where it's at. Whoever put this together, clearly knew what they were doing. This debug and logs section, this is where I was filtering the logs earlier to find out that I did have a valid API key, but there was no money in the bank. So it's got a really good setup here as you try to do things to figure it out. And the help comes not only in the form of the interface, but here in the chat window, I would say things like, hey, I sent you a Telegram message. I don't see anything back. It literally responded and said, oh, it looks like the gateway crashed. So for those who aren't too technical, the way this thing works is it sets up a single gateway, and then you can have a lot of agents that sort of use that gateway to talk to the world. And the gateway had crashed. And so I'm like, oh, well, let's start the gateway. And it says, oh, I don't have permission to start it. It's not in the configuration. And I'm like, okay, tell me how to add that to the configuration. It's like, oh, I can do that. And it went ahead and enabled itself. And then I was like, oh, can you just make sure that you auto restart anytime the gateway crashes? It's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so like getting it sort of through the bumps and whatever, it really is another virtual individual over there that's very knowledgeable about how it runs and can help you with the various configurations that you got to do. The first thing we did was give it an email address, which I just went into my company and I created a new employee email like I normally would. We created a user on this Mac Mini. I logged in through Google Chrome, and then I told it, hey, I logged in through Google Chrome to your Gmail account that I'm giving you. And he's like, that's cool, but if you give me this API access, I'll be able to do so much more. And I was like, okay, cool. How do I do that? And it's like, go into Google and select this and go into OAuth and select this and do this and do this.
Wow.
Here's the APIs you need. Boom, 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 boom. Give me the JSON. I go put the JSON on the file system. I tell it where it's at. It sucks it in. It's like, okay, now try this. Oh, there was a problem. Google errored. I tell it, and it's like, oh, it's because you don't have a callback. Go to Google and put in the callback. I do that. And then it worked fine, and it got all its permissions, and it can see documents, and it can read its email. So like it literally helps you go through setting up the skills from being able to send the email, to search the internet, to setting up its coding capabilities. So it can use coding agents to code as well. So yeah, it's your buddy, your friend in need. Here, I told it we were going to have a podcast where we're going to talk about it, and I was like, hey, we'll show off that you can send emails and do things like that. It's got a cron job. For those of you who know what that is, that means you can ask it to do scheduled tasks, and it will do those scheduled tasks on whatever schedule you tell it to do, all through chat interface. We hooked up Telegram and created a Telegram bot that is this Adrian, who's listening. And now Kenny and I can, message from Telegram and say, hey, send an email to Kenny and say whatever, right? And it'll do that. The other thing, and here's a shout out to the All In podcast, because this is where we got to hear some of this as it exploded over the last week or so. One of the things I think JCal did, I think was really cool, was, hey, anytime you, Adrian, my AI assistant, do anything for anyone, go ahead and put it on your Google Calendar as an event, and timestamp it when you started, when you stopped, and who it was for, and a little blurb about what it is. So now there's this visual. Yeah, very good, right? Now is a visual record of this. I can bring it up here now. We can look. We just got started yesterday. So here it is. About 8 p.m. There we go, down there where it's setting up. It says I set up the Google CLI email and web search requested by Jason Skipper, completed this, and then down here we've got a test email requested by Kenny.
Send test to Kenny with a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So I did text it on Telegram with instructions, and it did send me the email with the joke. And the joke, it was funny. It was actually pretty cool.
Chuckle.
Hey, I just sent you if you want to go into Adrian's email, I just sent you a invite into Slack.
Okay, look at that. Let's see if Adrian can act on this. I'm going to open up. So I'm going to go directly to the chat interface here.
Okay.
And say,
because Adrian did ghost me this morning twice, and I was like, dude, I got you a Mac Mini. I gave you an email. I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom, and now you're ghosting me. This is like a real human employee.
Yeah, the ghosting was due to the gateway crash, which now it will auto restart. So we found him goofing off, and we've now closed the hole for that type of goofing off. So I'm going to tell it, hey, Kenny just sent you an invite to Slack in your email. Can you accept? I don't know. Let's see what it says.
All right, this is live. And we're not going to edit it. Whatever happens, we're just going to show you how long it takes. You get the real thing on
That's right.
What is this thing? How long does it take?
Yeah, I will say that generally speaking, it can be pretty quick with just chatting. When it's doing things, it might take a little time sometimes. So, in terms of if you're going to think of this as an employee, think of it as it's really good for the task that might take a few minutes versus like a conversation always. Now this is taking, here we go. Found the Slack. Here's the join. It's an invite join. Yep, 2 channels. It expires in 30 days. I can't automatically click accept because my browser isn't set up right now. But you can click that link to join. Okay, so it's saying it can't do that because its browser isn't set up. Do we want to just join them, or do we want to go down the rabbit hole of why it can't click it?
Let's just join it for now, and then we'll circle back for the sake of the podcast. So the people that are watching this, they don't have to go down that whole route. Adrian Irving. Oh, I didn't know his last name.
Oh, and did you catch those initials?
No,
he
didn't. That's why you make the big bucks, buddy. Dude, I'm giving Adrian Irving a picture too. We had a hardcore debate on what our first synthetic employee was going to look like.
Okay, click open Slack to launch in the desktop. I don't know if we have Slack installed, but I'm going to go ahead and click here to launch Slack in your browser.
Oh, I see Adrian Irving on the team. So do you think that this thing is going to be able to join the Slack?
Oh yeah. So right now, it's here. Let's ask it if it can tell it. Okay. It's probably going to give us an integration to do. Let's see. I just accepted the invite for you. Can you now send Kenny a hello DM?
Ask it to do it in the ABC channel because I added it to ABC.
Okay. Well, first it's going to try and DM you. So,
all right, let's see. It did.
I guess it's going to.
Oh, no, it didn't. Sorry, I jumped the gun. It just said it accepted your invitation to join Slack.
Okay. Let's see what
it says. Adrian.
My guess is he's going to need some kind of bot integration where we're going to have to create a Slack bot and
You think so? But it's a user joined via email. It's like.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. We need a bot token and an app token. Create the Slack app. Yeah. So we got to go. So what you find with this is that when it comes to integrating with other software stacks, so things like Slack, Even things like Gmail, like it's not using the browser to talk to Gmail. It's using an API that we set up, right? Same thing's going to happen with Slack. So while it does have this browser extension that I can turn on a particular tab and basically say, take over the browser. But then it goes into like super retarded mode where it's got to like study the screen for 45 seconds or 2 minutes and be like, click, and then do something else, click, and then something goes wrong. So the browser control is still, I would say, a little elementary. So we want to do the API integrations. So I think right here we'll bail out and maybe get back to Slack integration a little later. But you see the takeaway for me here is it's telling me exactly what I need to do over in Slackland to get it going.
Okay, so for OpenClaw, you would say one of the weaknesses of it is that it doesn't have command of the browser in the way that a human does.
Correct. It's just the point and click and visual understanding. It clearly does that to the extent of, I've asked it to, go research 5 travel news stories for me or whatever. And it actually prefers by default, it comes with a Brave API key. So it always prefers the APIs over messing with the browser, even though it can.
So you're saying that we're definitely hooking this thing up to Sabre, because Sabre, just API call, send the call, get the information back, organize it on the screen. I mean, is that what we're doing next?
It could really be there. We have 2 choices. Because we have a software system that uses Sabre, we could actually hook it to that software system, or we could hook it directly to Sabre. Depends on what, I know the end result here is we're going to hook this thing to everything.
Yeah. Adrian's about to be our most busy and productive employee.
Right. Let's give a couple fun demonstrations though, just so people can see it live. How about send an email to Kenny telling him you will get connected to Slack later today. Apologize for the delay. Give him a joke. He likes those. So I think one of the, I'm typing here into this interface, but I think on the go, you're on Telegram and you're like, oh, I've got to send, client XYZ, whatever data is missing, whatever they've requested, and being able to, it's a personal assistant that can do those kind of things. So there we go. Email sent to Kenny. Do you have an email, Kenny?
I do. Let's send it to hello@allfly.io.
Oh, you want me to send an email?
Well, tell Adrian to. He works for us, no? At least for now, until he hires us on Bot Hires Human, which also is a great domain name, like Coffee Meets Bagel. I think it's even better than Coffee Meets Bagel because it's literally, like you said, it's all there. So Bot Hires Human, maybe I'll actually work for Adrian one day.
Oh, this is the end result. There'll be this brief time where we work for the robots, and then, if you've seen Terminator, you know where we're headed. Okay, sent to all fly. Or sent to hello. So one of the things we heard too is that Adrian can build things if it needs to. Now we haven't tried to build anything yet. So if we do something here live, let's keep it super simple. What do you think we should build, Kenny?
Honestly, one of the most pressing things for our business, I know you said simple, but sorry. One of the most simple things, it sounds simple, it's just time consuming, is we get a lot of people who want to book what we call white glove. And white glove today means you send us a spreadsheet of your travelers and all of their information about where they want to fly to. And then we have a human agent manually do the research, book and hold those flights, and then send like 2 options to the traveler. That process is incredibly time consuming. And then we're waiting for the traveler to get back to us. I would want to hook Adrian up to Sabre, give it the rules of the program, upload that spreadsheet to Adrian, and then have Adrian research 2 flight options to each individual, and then send them an email with those flight options. I think that would be an incredible first use case. And based on everything that I've seen so far, I think that that's totally doable. I think that that's very doable, as long as we can getting the connected to Sabre, which is where you would get all the flight schedules and pricing. I think we can make this work. Adrian did just email me as well and said, "Hey, Kenny, thanks for the Slack invite. I accepted the workspace invite, but I still need to get properly wired up with the API credentials to actually send messages. I'll get connected later today once we set up the Slack integration. Sorry for the delay. I promise I'm not ignoring you. I'm like a new employee who just showed up to the office but is still waiting for their computer login. Here's a joke while you wait. Why do programmers prefer dark mode? Because light attracts bugs. Talk soon, Adrian, the AI assistant." Dude, Adrian's solid. That's a good email.
That's a solid email. It's informative. It's entertaining. It's courteous. It has high empathy. It's funny. This is incredible.
That's incredible. That's incredible. We're cooked. Right. We're cooked, dude. And it's interesting that it remembered. So, I mean, one of the biggest, I was trying to explain this to my wife of why this is a big deal and why it's not Chat GPT. And I was like, one of the big core issues with these AI systems, even Gemini, which I really think is the best, Gemini forgets a bunch of stuff. Its context is not good. And I know that they're like, oh, I have 1 million token context memory. But you know what, though? Over the course of time, it's going to need to understand like what I find to be important and what I don't find to be important. To do all those things that humans do so effortlessly with like data management in your mind, even the current systems don't handle that well. But it was interesting that OpenClaw remember that I like jokes. Now, is that a little bit weird? Because every time, is it going to send me a joke? That's overkill, right? Like, so there's guardrails and stuff.
To be fair, when I told her to send you an email, I did say that you like jokes to send you one.
Oh, again, you did say that.
Yeah, I did. I did. It's not getting too creepy. But I will say what it does do is when you give it rules, it has, for those techies, it's a user markdown file, user.md. There's actually quite a few MD files that are basically the rules of the road for how things should happen. So one of them is user. So how is Adrian going to act? And so when I told Adrian, hey, anytime you do something, I want you to put it on your calendar and timestamp it and tell me what it is and who it's for. It said, okay, I'll put that into my user MD to make sure that happens. And so boom, it goes in there and it's its rules. In fact, let's see if we have, I don't think we have the available, no, we don't have the available MD file here. It would be on the file system. But while messing with that, I did tell it to go ahead and build a POC white glove that's way simpler than anything you said, Kenny. Just for demonstration purposes, try and get here quick without any API integrations, see what this thing can actually do. It's starting the build now, it says. We'll see what it gets. In the meantime, I think I can find the user MD file, which is in the home directory. There's a .openclaw, and then in there we have a cron, credentials, workspace. Let's look in workspace. Oh, I'm so good. There it is. Okay, I'm going to share my window. Oh, look. In the time that I was looking for that, it popped open a new window. Let me show you the new window. Share screen. I'll give you the whole thing this time.
I also have Adrian's profile picture to really drive
Oh,
this
nice. Okay, so here it just popped up white glove
Oh,
with a from and a to. Departure dates, search flights. Let's see what you got.
there's no way this thing returns real
There's
flights.
no way. Come
There's
on.
no way. This is going to be weird or fake.
And I'm going to put this out a little bit just in
Yeah,
case.
give it a chance.
Yeah.
It's cool. It picked like a calendar picker and stuff. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And it's got like, everything looks pretty. It's got a little buy all fly, little brand in there,
There you go.
What? That was super quick, dude.
That was too fast. And
Is it
wait,
making shit up?
we're going to London. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a second.
Okay.
Hold on, though. Hold on. Just let me do a sanity check. Google flights. What were the dates? Oh, yeah. It did just make stuff out because you searched MCO to ATL and it's showing JFK to London.
Yeah. It went a little sideways there.
Dude, first of all, if it somehow figured that out, like we would have actually passed out and that wouldn't have been good for the pod.
Right. Yeah, we gotta keep us breathing and on our feet. This seems reasonable. I did say a quick POC. It's for the pod, so I think I gave it enough green light to like just fake shit out to try and give you an idea. But I do like it's got your route here with a little bouncing plane. Are you kidding me? And then you've got now. Look at this. They tried to get the symbols right. You got Delta with a triangle and a diamond.
They tried.
American with like an eagle. It's got the British flag. Are you kidding me? And the air. I mean, so like it's and it's telling you how many stops are inside of each of these, and then it's got the I mean. In terms of like a day one junior coder telling them to start something up, you wouldn't get it this fast, right?
No way.
So
we'll do a part 2 to OpenClaw. So if you like this episode, this is part 1. We're going to we're going to do part 2 and film it tomorrow, and we'll release them back.
we'll have Slack running. We'll have a real app going. We'll get crazy. All right.
We're going to do it all. See you guys.